Recent information coming in, former Prime Minister of Jamaica Bruce Golding was involved in a serious incident on the roads. Former Prime Minister Bruce Golding is at home resting after he was involved in a motor vehicle incident in Old Harbour, St. Catherine on Friday. In a statement that was given by his daughter, Senator Shireen Golding Campbell, neither he nor the occupants of the other vehicle involved appeared to be harmed. Golding Campbell mentioned that her father sent his appreciation for the expressions of concern from members of the public. Golding served as Jamaica's 8th Prime Minister from September 11, 2007 to October 23, 2011, and also led the Jamaica Labour Party from 2005 to 2011. Under his leadership, the Jamaica Labour Party defeated the People's National Party in the 2007 general elections. Mr. Golding resigned in 2011. Bruce Golding was born in 1947. He attended the Alpha Primary School, St. George's College, and Jamaica College. He also attended the University of the West Indies in 1996 and earned a bachelor's degree in economics in 1969. He was elected to the Central Executive of the Jamaica Labour Party in 1969 at the age of 21 and was subsequently elected to Parliament in 1972 at the age of 24. He served as General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party between 1974 to 1984 and was Chairman between 1984 to 1995. He has had 19 years' experience as a Member of Parliament representing the constituencies of West St. Catherine and Central St. Catherine, as well in 9 years' experience as a Senator. He was appointed Minister of Construction in 1980, serving in that position until 1989, and in that capacity was elected Chairman of the United Nations Commission on Human Settlements between 1984 and 1985. He was also the opposition spokesman on finance and chairman of the Public Accounts Committee between 1989 to 1995. Mr. Golding later served as a member of the Electoral Advisory Committee, the Board of Governors of the Institute of Jamaica, and the Board of Directors of the National Lotteries Commission. It was in 1995 that he resigned from the Jamaica Labour Party and was one of the founders of the National Democratic Movement, serving as its first president between the years of 1995 to 2001. It was also in 2002 that Mr. Golding rejoined the Jamaica Labour Party and in November 2003 was again elected chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party. He was further appointed Senator and Opposition Spokesperson on Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in that same year, and went on to hold both positions up to April 2005. On February 20, 2005, he was elected leader of the Jamaica Labour Party. On April 13th, he was elected Member of Parliament for West Kingston. He was the leader of the opposition from April 21, 2005 to September 10, 2007. Mr. Golding was sworn in as Jamaica's 8th Prime Minister on September 11, 2007. He is an avid businessman. He and his wife Lorna were married in 1972 and they have 3 children. Between May 18, 2010 and June 24, 2010, a serious issue developed in Jamaica, and this issue would lead to the resignation of Prime Minister Bruce Golding. The government, which was being led by Prime Minister Bruce Golding, issued a warrant for the arrest of Coke on May 18, 2010. Government security forces launched an operation to capture him. In Kingston on May 23, 2010. The government further went on to declare a 30-day state of emergency in parts of Kingston on May 23rd. A motion of no confidence against the Prime Minister and the government security forces captured the gentleman near Kingston on June 22, 2020. And he was extradited to the United States on June 24th. Some 73 individuals, including 4 members of the government security forces, were armed during this problematic situation in Jamaica. Andrew Holness became the Prime Minister after he was sworn in by Governor General Sir Patrick Allen on October 23, 2011. Parliamentary elections were held on December 29, 2011, and of course, the Jamaica Labour Party lost that general elections. Prior to this problematic situation, Bruce Golding was always a man that was setting records in terms of his achievements. By the age of 24, he became the youngest member of Parliament of the House of Representatives. He was also named the first ever minister of the newly created Ministry of Construction after a quick election in December 1983. He was also the first president of the National Democratic Movement. And of course, many assumed that he would become the first sitting prime minister to resign after just one term in office. It was a difficult and problematic period in 2010 up to 2011 for the Jamaica Labour Party, considering the issues that arose in downtown Kingston. Golding grew up in a time in which academic and sports standards in the high school system were exceedingly high, and he had to live in the shadows of classroom gurus like Ronnie Thwaites and Trevor Monroe of St. George's, who both went on to become Rhodes Scholars, and the latter also a track star of merit. It was the golden era for boys' schools like St. George's, Jamaica College, Kingston College, Wolmer's, Cornwall College, and Monroe to maintain their dominance over their rivals in academic performance and in sports. It was topped during the period by Kingston College's fantastic schoolboy football successes of 1964 and 1965. When Bruce Golding earned a bachelor's degree in economics from the University of the West Indies in 1969, it was at that time that he started his long political race from the Jamaica Labour Party's Central Executive. 3 years later, at the time of the next general election that swept the People's National Party into power after a 10-year absence, Golding got the approval of the people of West St. Catherine to represent them, thus confirming his status as a second-generation politician, following in the footsteps of his father. Following a loss in West St. Catherine in 1976, adjustments in constituency boundaries and names, Clarendon-born Golding was to later become a fixture for the Jamaica Labour Party in Central St. Catherine, being a part of the team that succeeded in convincing a majority of Jamaicans that the threat from our Cuban neighbor of the 1970s was real. Michael Manley's democratic socialism philosophy had taken on new dimensions, and in the news, the critics inside and outside of the People's National Party had become so caustic to life that something should be done about it. The Jamaica Labour Party, inspired by its leader Edward Seaga and supported by bright individuals like Golding, was in charge of the campaign. Errol Anderson and many others successfully managed to tell the nation that the influence of the Cuban nation on Manley, and by extension the island, was too much of a risk. It worked and resulted in a huge 51-9 seat victory for the Jamaica Labour Party. Golding, who had been appointed the General Secretary in 1974, went on to become the first Minister of Construction and a combination of the previous two ministries of Housing and Works. Golding served until the 1989 general elections, when the Jamaica Labour Party was pushed from office. Such was his impact on the Jamaica Labour Party and the promise that he showed that Labourites promoted Golding from a decade of work as General Secretary in 1984 to the powerful and influential position of party chairman and obvious heir to the apparent Edward Seaga. He served as chairman until 1995, a most critical time in his life, when he resigned from the party over a disagreement that also engulfed the now infamous Group of Five issue, a claim that influential party members had teamed up to topple Edward Seaga as party leader. Several years of work as party functionary had seemingly gone up in smoke, as Golding had at the time not only served the House of Representatives as the member for West Central Catherine for a combined 19 years, but the upper house as a senator for 9 years. His decision to form a new party in 1995 had resounding effect on Jamaica's political landscape. He became the first president, and it primarily left him up to try to reshape the way that Jamaicans saw politics and the work of political parties. However, his party did not win a single seat in the 1997 general elections, taken again in style by the PNP, but some of its candidates, like Golding, who secured over 2,000 votes to trail Jamaica Labour Party winner Olivia Babsy Grange in Central St. Catherine. Brasco Lee in South Trelawney and Wayne Chen in Northeast Manchester left telling impressions on the electorate. He was later appointed as leader of the opposition on February 20, 2005, and his subsequent election as Member of Parliament for West Kingston on April 13th that same year, following Edward Siaga's decision to step down and enter academia. And this placed him in a primary position for another grand takeoff towards the political promised land. He pledged to be the change for which Jamaicans were calling for. Goulding took the oath of office as Prime Minister in September 2007, following his party's narrow victory at the polls. Of course, his entry into politics was less than that of a smooth interface. Some of the party's stalwarts saw him as a direct, caustic problem, while others, particularly the younger group, embraced him wholeheartedly. He was again appointed party chairman, as well as senator and opposition spokesperson on foreign affairs and foreign trade. His appointment as leader of the party would eventually bear some very significant and important fruits in 2007. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We do hope that the former Prime Minister Bruce Goulding will remain in good stead, and we hope that he won't be involved in any more traffic-related incidents. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.